So now I have the next story, badass. It's not really a per se sports story, but it has to deal with somebody who was in sports, and that is former Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky's son, Jeffrey Sandusky, was arrested Monday on 14 counts of child molestation charges. Sandusky is being accused of contacting a girl through text messaging, asking her for new photographs, and also accused of asking a 15-year-old girl for oral sex in 2013. When one of the mothers confronted Sandusky, he said he knows it was wrong and inappropriate. Sandusky was arraigned Monday and jailed on a $200,000 bail bond and has been prohibited from having any contact with minors. Also, he has to surrender his passport. I mean, can you say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree?
Man, I had my shit washed in, bro, big time.
That's gonna be him in like 5 years from after being in the penitentiary. Cause yeah, the apple it didn't fall far. It sure as shit didn't. It might have rolled a foot. I mean, seriously, dude. You, your dad, you're all fucked in the head. What the hell's the matter with you? What are you talking about? You got caught. You knew it was wrong. Then why the fuck were you doing it? You know, it's like when we used to watch that fucking show, How to Catch a Predator, and that fucking Hanson dude would be sitting there waiting for him, and they'd walk in and be like, oh God, oh God. He's like, yeah, go ahead and have a seat. I want to talk to you. Oh God, what's the matter? Oh God, I fucked up. I'm not supposed to be here. Then, you know what? Why the fuck are you here? That's the question I posed to you. So you know what, Mr. Sandusky? As a man with a daughter, let me tell you something, son. Where you're going, I would make friends real quick. Because it's better to suck some dick than to get fucked in your ass. For you, anyway. Because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to be a nice little bitch. Just like your dad is. And all that pain and all that suffering you inflicted upon young, impressionable people, you just remember that when your asshole's getting stretched out by a fucking 3-inch fat cock going 9 inches deep into your rectum. And guess what? The guards ain't coming. You can bet your sweet ass. They ain't coming. You know why? Because they got paid to sit their fat asses right there and eat their Al Casapula sub and not give a shit. That's exactly what's going down. So you know what? You enjoy that butt fucking.
I think at this point you better buy like a lifetime supply of like soap on a rope or something.
Nah, you know what would suit him better? He needs about 10 bottles of Vaseline in the commissary, and you better pray to God they're nice enough to lube up.
Ugh. Ugh. But, I mean, come on. I mean, like, seriously, dude, like, 15-year-old girl asking for oral sex from a 15-year-old girl. I mean, just think about that. That's horrible. I mean, how can somebody even do that? I mean, it surprised me there's people like this out there that do these kind of things, and you're just thinking to yourself, what kind of animals are these people? I mean, look at the guy that we let in Delaware. I mean, I hate saying it. You know, Bradley. It doesn't make Delaware look good at all. Because guess what?
Look at our high school.
Oh yeah, look at our high school. Our high school had how many teachers get hauled out of there?
In Sussex Central.
Exactly. I mean, that's just I don't know how they do it, and I mean, it's happening a lot nowadays. I mean, you're seeing it all over the news all the time. Teachers now you're seeing more too. Women teachers sleeping with young boys, which is I mean just as wrong as sleeping. A guy sleeping with a young girl. I mean,
this
it's
country's
wrong.
sick in the head, man. It's oversexed. I hate sounding like one of them 90-year-old people, but listen, y'all, you're oversexed. Everywhere you look, it's sex, sex, sex. Can't even go fucking buy ice cream without some fucking risky little ad showing a woman taking her tongue and just licking ice cream like it's a fucking dick, man. You can't do this. You have to go back to being decent. When you had decency, people didn't act like this. When every time you turn the corner, there's some girl in booty shorts with her pussy half hanging out of it, and then you wonder why everyone's so fucked up in the head and oversexed and wanting to do all this nasty shit. Stop over fucking sexing everything. 15-year-old girls are not supposed to be sexy. Ever. They're supposed to be fucking girls. Got it? Get it? Good.
That's all we gotta say about that, right?
Fucking ain't right.
So let's go ahead and move on to actually better story, because that kind of got me down a little bit talking about that kind of nasty stuff. It just
I didn't listen. It got me so rattled. I didn't even want to play the goddamn clip I pulled up for it. I mean, that's how angry this shit makes me. Like, I don't even want to hear these people talk about this shit. I mean, do you?
I don't.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I was actually at one point thinking, do I really want to do this story?
Yeah, like we could just X this whole thing. I mean, we're going to mention it because it's in the world of sports. I mean, how can you not mention it? But I'm going to tell you right now, man, you motherfuckers out there are sick, and your day's coming. You best believe that.
So let's go ahead and, like I said, move on to something a little more positive. On Thursday night, we had the big rival between Duke and North Carolina in men's college basketball. And man, this was a hell of a game. Number 18 Duke defeated number 8 North Carolina 86-78. Your boy, Grayson Allen, led the Blue Devils with 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, while Luke Kennard had 20 points and 4 rebounds and 3 assists. North Carolina's Justin Jackson led the way for the Tar Heels with 21 points and 5 rebounds. This game, a lot like many of the games over the year, was very close. There were 17 lead changes, 9 ties, and neither team led by more than 8 points. Duke has now won 5 of the last 6 meetings against North Carolina. Duke star Grayson Allen commented after the game, "Coach tells you to shoot the ball, you shoot the ball."
You know, I got a song for this. I'm just going to start playing it. I was going to look up clips from a thing called the Weiner Line. I couldn't find them. But I stumbled across this nice little Duke song about hating Duke like a motherfucker. And it's pretty good. It's not too bad. They're always just cracking shit on them. And I can't stand that "This Is Why Duke Sucks" song by Peter Rosenberg, the one that was in the 30 for 30. I can't stand his face. I can't stand his mouth. Like, his just everything about him. Like, he's the type of guy I'd punch in the mouth in high school. Like, just shut the fuck up, nerd. Like, just shut up. But
Where are all the blacks? I mean, you got Reddick and John Levy, Wojciechowski and John Shire. Don't forget Leitner and Bobby Hurley.
That is great. I love this.
this is a Duke hate song. Yeah. But that's the thing. I cannot give Duke any credit. I will not give them any credit. I fucking hate Mike Krzyzewski. Grayson Allen is a punk bitch. Cameron Indoor Stadium needs to be burned to the fucking ground along with the entire fucking city of Durham, North Carolina. And yes, I just said burn the whole fucking city to the ground because this is the same dickhead city that wanted to fucking roast a bunch of lacrosse players, their own fucking lacrosse players, on a goddamn fire with zero evidence to back up why they should be roasting them on a fucking fire. You just, everything that shithole stands for at Duke, I'm against it. They are the fucking Princeton or Harvard of the South, whatever you want to call them. They're a bunch of elitist, stuck-up, blue dog Democrat fucking snobs. All their fucking kids that go there are entitled little pricks. Even when they aren't doing anything wrong, just their fucking attitude, their culture, just fuck everything about you people. Seriously, a comet could knock the fuck out of your city. You know who's not shedding you not one fucking tear? This man. And it's not because of anything but fucking Duke. You poison everything you touch. You poison the fucking town of Durham. I'm sick and tired of your ass. Fuck y'all, man. Seriously. I don't know how many times I gotta go on a fucking anti-Duke rant. Like, you just wait. I can't wait till you get bounced from the fucking tournament. This is gonna be wonderful.
But you gotta give them a little bit of credit. I know you don't want to give them any credit, but you gotta give them a tiny bit of credit. They did come to play against number 8 North Carolina. I mean, they've had a struggle so far. They've lost 5 games so far this year. You know, kind of struggled a little bit, had up and downs. Some games that they've won, they've only won by 5 or 6 points. Real close games. They beat Clemson by 2 points. I mean, Clemson they should have beat by 20 points. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Clemson sucks
bad.
I'm actually on board with you now, badass. Clemson does suck in basketball.
Brad Brownell's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go. I agree with you now. After watching that game where they play a team like Duke, and they only lose by 2 points, and they come to play and they almost beat them, but then they turn around and the week before that get their asses smashed
Doors blown off.
by Florida State in their own place. I mean, how can you let that happen? I mean, I just don't understand the inconsistency there. And, like I said, I'm with you, but, Duke, you gotta give them a little bit of credit. They did come to play number 8 in North Carolina. They always do. I mean, 17 lead changes, 9 ties, and neither team led by more than 8 points. I mean, that's a hell of a game.
I'll give them enough credit so that they can buy a whore off Craigslist that has herpes so they can get infected with it. That's how much credit I'll give them.
Wow.
Hey, I have no love for Duke whatsoever.
You know what's really great? This is only the first one of the season. There's still another one. I think the last game of the season for Duke and North Carolina is the Duke-North Carolina game.
And I got to go to North Carolina. Yeah, you got to go to Chapel Hill this time.
I think the story's going to be a lot different this time around.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you, when we do that game, I definitely am going to say I think North Carolina will win. Because usually...
We're preemptively taking North Carolina already. You damn right.
No, I mean, granted, yes, they have won 5 of the last 6 meetings, yes. But in the same sense, North Carolina always plays Duke hard at home. And again, I just don't think Duke is as good as what they have been in years past. Now, a lot of places on social media and some of the sports outlets, they're like, oh, Duke is back. Duke is back. Go, go, go,
We
go,
hear
go.
this shit every year in February. And once in a blue moon, you're right when they happen to sneak their ass into winning a championship. But please, do not play me and insult my intelligence. You dicks say this every year, and then you get bounced in the tournament, and then we don't hear from you again until basketball season starts. So please.
I actually heard one of the guys on WCCP talking and doing the dick sucking of Duke. Talking about Duke is back, they've won 2 games, they're moving up in the standings, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, Duke is not as good as what they have been in the years past. The years they won the championship and they've made their runs to the Final Four and the Elite 8, they were good teams. The Christian Laettner teams, J.J. Redick, them boys, they were good teams. This team, I just don't think is as good as what the past teams have been in the past for Duke. I just think they're not as good, and they're just kind of hanging around there. And I think come tournament time, like we said, I think they're going to be one of the teams that's either going to be 1 and done or 2 and done.
They don't have the grit.
They don't have the grit to make a long run in the tournament.
I agree.
I mean, now granted, Duke does seem to somehow, kind of like the way New England Patriots do, they seem to come alive come playoff time and somehow win the championship. But I just don't see it this year with Duke.
I don't either. I see them getting there. I see them actually probably having momentum, but you just don't have, like I said, grit. Grit is the word. You don't have the grit to go deep into this tournament because you are going to face much, much higher quality opponents. I'm not saying that you're not now because you play in the ACC. You see the toughest schedule, but you're going to have to play other teams. And not only that, you're going to likely run into Florida State or North Carolina in your own goddamn bracket, and you possibly get bounced by one of them people because, you're either going to play someone that doesn't know you and where you might have an advantage, or you're going to get a shit end of the stick and you're going to go through people that already played you that know your weaknesses. That makes it so much harder because then you're climbing an even taller mountain. And you're not going to be at Cameron Indoor to back you up for it either.
I mean, I truly could see them end up having to play like an Oregon or a Wisconsin or even some even crappier team, like a, Syracuse or a Pitt if they got in, one of those, lower bracket teams. I could see them having to play them and just come out and get the door smacked in.
I do too.
But, I just don't, like I said, I just don't think Duke is as good as what they used to be. Now, also this week, we had a big, huge thing happen on Monday night, and I know me and you were kind of talking about it throughout the week and talking about this game, and we both kind of followed it on Monday night. The UConn women's basketball team hit a major milestone on Monday as they got their 100th victory in a row, and they defeated number 6 South Carolina 66-55. UConn has set the record for the most wins, eclipsing their previous mark of 91 on January 14th against SMU. Now, head coach Gino Ariana has done great things since taking over at UConn. He has put up a record of 980 wins and 134 losses with 11 national championships, 22 regular season championships, 21 conference championships, 3 Olympic medals from the Sydney, London, and Rio de Janeiro games, 2 FIBA World Championships in 2010 and 2014. I think badass. I think he deserves the award. What do you think?
I think we got to give him the Banff Award, man.
I mean, I almost want to give him the Banff of the Year award. I mean, Banff of the Century. I mean,
He's a badass motherfucker.
This dude's been doing it since 1986. I went back and did some stat looking and all that. He's been coaching there since 1986. 11 national championships, 22 regular season conference championships, and 21 tournament championships. And 3 Olympic golds.
And quickly approaching his 1,000th win.
I mean, he's close.
Very.
He'll get it probably this year or beginning of next year.
Honestly, man, I think old Gino, he might even be up there for the running. You already know what I'm going to say.
Goat?
He might be the GOAT.
We've been talking a lot of goat lately.
There's a lot of goat talk here lately.
I heard a bat.
Nah.
Oh, sorry, that's a sheep.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole lot of goating going on here.
But, yeah, I mean, I have to say, definitely greatest of all time. Women's college basketball period. I even put him above Mike Krzyzewski.
I mean, he's up there with Krzyzewski, Wooten. I mean, he's up there with some names, dude. I mean, he's an unstoppable force. Like, literally, you have to go through UConn if you want to win a championship, and it's been that way for a fucking decade. You go through them if you want it. And chances are you're not going to get it.
And, I mean, they're just an unstoppable force. I mean, look, South Carolina, they played them really close. I mean, they did give them a fight. They only won by 10 points. But in the end, they won. And they got their 100th win. And, I mean, you can't deny them at UConn. They're doing big things. They're another one of those teams, like you always say. What do you always say? They don't rebuild.
They reload.
And they do that. Gino has that at UConn that he doesn't rebuild, he reloads. And every year he's there. I mean, 100 wins that spanned over the last 2 years, 3 years. He's done this streak. He hasn't lost to almost 3 years. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive.
Not to mention the fact that if you were actually going to bet $100 on the surest thing ever in Vegas, that's UConn's women's basketball, dude.
Oh, if they told me, okay, we're going to let you pick one team, and that's the team you're going to take. You know who I'm taking? I'm taking UConn all day.
Right, especially because, someone says, well, you put 100 down to win $10. Well, what do I got to do? You got to lay 10 points to take UConn. Done. I'm not winning but $10. I'm risking $100 to win 10. But that's how fucking sure it is. Seriously, they're that sure. You aren't losing ever when you bet. When's the last time that someone won a betting against UConn? Oh yeah, 100 fucking games ago, dude.
I mean, honestly, he's not even close to being done yet. That's what the scary part is. He's not even close to being done yet.
I know.
Coaching since '86, and he's not even close to being done. There's no retirement talks at all with him.
Hell, dude, he'll probably be 80 years old and still winning national titles. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He has a system. He knows exactly how to implement said system. And he knows talent, too, obviously, because Jesus Christ. I mean, when's the last time UConn didn't have a lights-out team?
Again, waiting.
Waiting, correct. Crickets,
yep. So, congratulations, Coach. You are the Burger and Badass Banff of the Week. I'd say even almost the Banff of the Year, maybe even Banff of the Century. I don't know.
I mean, if we didn't have to give out this award weekly, we'd just keep giving it to you, bro. Seriously.
I mean, Charlie Sheen winning. I mean, seriously.
If anybody else would like to tell us why he would not be the Banff, we're open to hearing your opinion. I mean, not that we're going to fucking respect it, but we'll at least listen to it. We'll hear you out.
So, congratulations, Coach, winning Banff of the Week from Burger and Badass. I mean, you have a long, long career still ahead of you. and you're going to win many more championships. And eventually, I'd say probably next 5 years, they'll be calling him the GOAT.
Yes,
I definitely see that happening.
I do too.
And I'm not talking about just women's basketball. I'm talking about college basketball, period.
He is truly the greatest.
Like, he's going to win 3, 4 more, 5 more championships. And that's going to put him at like 15 or 16 championships. He's going to be like Ric Flair and John Cena, the 16-time world champions.
Like everyone else is hanging out in the atmosphere. This motherfucker's already past orbit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is he's also going to be coaching the games too. I mean, why would you replace him as coach? The only time that he wouldn't do that is if he gets to a point where he really has to recruit for that year and he's not able to do it. But I don't see that happening. I don't see any kind of schedule conflict with that.
His machine is so well oiled.
He's got enough people in there that he has a good system that him going away for, a couple months to Olympics is not a big deal.
No.
And he's going to keep winning Olympic gold there, too, which is going to make him even better, more of a GOAT.
Hey, the man just keeps stacking up. I mean, that's all he does is just win. He's like, I don't give a shit what you're giving me. I don't care what award I just won. Yeah, I got 11 titles, whatever. I'm just winning. That's all I think the man just wakes up and literally just goes, what are we going to do today? That just reminded me. It's like Pinky and the Brain, dude.
I love Pinky and the Brain.
What are we going to do today, Gino? We're going to win, Pinky. We're going to win every fucking thing. Like he just wins. That's all he does.
I mean, again, 100 victories in a row. I mean,
enough said.
Enough said right there. So, congratulations, Coach. And now moving on to a little bit of sadder news. And I remember this guy when he played at Syracuse, and he was a big name. Former Syracuse and first-round pick of the Boston Celtics, Fab Melo has passed away in his sleep in his home in Brazil, where he plays ball. Melo, who was 26, died of an apparent heart attack, according to the Brazil police. The former coach Syracuse Jim Boeheim said, "He was a really good player, and it's not fair that he would be defined by one thing, a 10-page paper. He worked his tail off to become a really good player and was a nice kid." Melo was caught by the school for having someone else write his 10-page report for him his sophomore year and served several suspensions, in which the Orange finished 34-3 that year and ended up losing to Ohio State in the Elite Eight. I mean, 26 years old, man. That's crazy. A heart attack in his sleep. I mean, I know you're seeing that a lot now with sleep apnea and everything. I know I have sleep apnea and I need to get that fixed. But I mean, 26 years old and had a heart attack in his sleep. I mean, man, it's sad. These young players going this young, it just makes no sense.
I'm telling you, man, we're going to have to stop covering death, man. This is like the 6th show in a row that we've covered a death. I mean, it's nothing that can be helped. It's just crazy because Berger just said it best. The man is 26. He still has a whole another 2/3 of life to go with good health. I mean, that's young, and he just went to sleep, and he fucking never woke up. Just had a heart attack, and that was the end of it. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I'm 38 right now. When I get to 40, I'm probably pushing the half of my life. I'll be honest with you, I really don't see me living past 80. I mean, I'm a big guy. I like my southern food. I like my grease. I love that shit. And I'm not going to shy away from it just because somebody tells me to. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life. And, if that means me dying at the age of 75, then so be it. As long as I did what I wanted to do in life, then I'm happy. But when you see somebody that dies at the age of 26, you're like, man, they still had a lot to go for them. I mean, who knows? I mean, something could have happened over there, and he could have been seen by a scout. All of a sudden, he gets another deal at the NBA, and he comes back. I mean, he's 26. He's still young. He can still play in the NBA if he wanted to.
I will say one thing, too. I kind of don't like how Jim Boeheim took that opportunity to bring up a past mistake. Who gives a fuck, man? Like,
he should have just left it at, he was a great kid. I loved having him. He was very respectful.
Right.
And that's it.
Like, you didn't have to bring that shit up because, dude, seriously, he's dead. What the fuck's it matter now? That's not how everybody look. And if that's how some people remember him, then whatever, shit on them. That's their prerogative. But the man just died, and you take that time in order to bring up some statement about that's how he's going to be remembered. I mean, you shut the fuck up, you senile old fuck. I mean, seriously, dude. That's not the time or the place. All you do is pay homage to the dead person and be respectful. You don't fucking bring up tits, tats, and stories from the past. I mean, seriously, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you?
And I totally agree with you on that because it just, I remember Fab Melo for what he did. Playing at Syracuse, being a good ball player, playing at Boston, not having a great career like, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, but had a pretty decent career. I remember for that. I don't remember the 10-page board. I didn't know about that, or even, I didn't remember that. But now he brought it up. Now I'm like, oh, you know what? Now I do remember that. And it's a shame that because you want to make a quote about it, it's now going to be out there again. So everybody forgot about what happened, and now you're going to bring it up again, and now you just rehash the whole thing all over fucking again.
And you know what? We can make this real motherfucking personal and get deep here. That would be like me and Berger going on this show and saying that our boy Mugwai was a good person, and everybody's only going to remember him for being a junkie and doing heroin. Even if that shit is true, guess what? We already fucking know it, and we don't need to rehash it. The man is dead. He's square with the house. You can fucking let him be at peace. I mean, and believe me, I think if any of our friends would have did that shit right after he passed, you got your teeth knocked the fuck out of your mouth. Because even if we were mad at him for what he did, the man's dead. You could pay some fucking respect.
And I just think that what Boeheim did was just disrespectful.
It was classless, to be honest with you.
It is. Very classless. So, rest in peace, Fab Melo. You were a good ball player. I remember when you played at Syracuse, and I remember when you played for Boston. You were a good ball player, and you know what? That's how you do it, Boeheim.
Only the good die young, brother. Only the good die young.
Very true. So what I want to do now is go ahead and move into some of the big games we had last week. And there was a lot of really good games this past week, badass. I mean, really good games. On Thursday night, you had number 10 UCLA edging out number 5 Oregon 82-79.
Good game.
Very good game. Yes. You had number 7 Wisconsin squeaking by unranked Nebraska 70-69 in overtime. You had number 16 Purdue holding off Indiana 69-64. And like I said, Indiana, they're not the team they used to be, but they're going to play you tough.
They're going to give you a game every single time.
It doesn't matter. Indiana's a good ball club. They're just not the top 25. I mean, they're good, but they're not great.
That's true.
Better than Clemson.
Yeah, dude, listen, I could get you 5 guys off the street.
Whoa, I don't want 5 guys off the street.
No, I wouldn't be bad. Let me rethink that. But no, all jokes aside, people, this week was full of exactly what you're hearing. Good, bad, and fucking ugly. Really good games, though, because I'm talking top 10 matchups where you have really good defensive squads running up against some of the best offensive squads in the UCLA-Oregon game, and it actually gave us a good fucking game.
Very good game.
Look at Duke, North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
They gave us a wonderful game.
Yeah. And, I mean, it didn't stop on just Thursday. Saturday, you had number 3 Kansas getting a 1-point victory over unranked Texas Tech 80-79. I mean,
Close games.
Close game. I mean, Kansas, number 3, and they struggled against a unranked Texas Tech. I mean, you got to love college basketball.
That's what we were going back to talking about last week and the week before. The parity of this sport is closer than any other college sport that you can get. The teams can be ranked, unranked, it does not matter. It can be one night you're on fire, the next night you are colder than a block of ice in the middle of fucking Alaska. That's the beauty of basketball at the college level. You just really don't know. There could be kids that are sick. Guys could be having problems with their family. Their brains aren't in it because they're wondering about their homeboy that just got arrested, or maybe somebody they know just got killed in a car wreck. You don't know with these people. And the raw emotion of the game is what gives us all these great games and all these times. I mean, it also what gives us shit games like those blowouts when you have Florida State just ass fucking Clemson by 40 points. I mean, that's the beauty of the game.
And it gets even better because unranked Notre Dame on Saturday upset number 14 Florida State.
Ooh. See, that's motherfucking ugly.
Yes, there's the ugly part of that.
Yeah.
You also had number 4 Louisville defeating Miami 71-66. I mean, again, a 5-point game. Miami kept it close and they were unranked.
And I don't know. Just see, maybe you were right about Miami. Maybe we should watch them a little bit closer as we start getting to tourney time. Maybe they're going to turn the heat up.
That's a possibility.
I mean, you did say that this could happen.
And then probably was, again, probably one of the bigger games of the week. You had number 1 Gonzaga beating number 20 SMU 74-64.
So they actually ran away with that game. I mean, tell you what, Gonzaga's been playing good, man.
I mean, Gonzaga's unstoppable. I mean, look at undefeated. Right now can't be stopped, but in the same sense, do you really want to go into the tournament being undefeated?
Hell no, because then the target's there and the pressure's even harder, man. Fuck that.
You just want to lose that one game.
Let that pressure off.
And you'd be like, all right, kind of like what Clemson did. They lost to Pitt this year.
Let that pressure off.
And look what they did. They ran to the national championship.
See, I'm telling you what, man. People are going to get sick and tired of us relating everything to a national title, but guess what? You'll get the fuck over it.
And then you had number 18 Duke getting the 64-62 win over Clemson, which we talked about a little bit earlier.
Clemson, hope you're listening.
Oh no! We suck again!
Yeah, you certainly do. I have a feeling we're going to be playing that clip a lot for you assholes.
Then on Sunday, we had unranked Northwestern surprising number 7 Wisconsin 66-59.
Really, Wisconsin? Really? Northwestern? You kidding me? Come on, like, what the fuck? That's like your redheaded stepchild little brother thing going on. I mean, you should be smacking them around with ease.
Not losing by 7 points.
Fuck no.
You know that team right there, the Wisconsin team, you know them boys were running drills the next day.
Up and down them fucking bleachers until they gassed.
Yeah, everybody's running what do they call the shuttle drill. You're running shuttle drill the whole practice.
Shuttles, suicides, and cone techniques. You better get ready to break them ankles.
We also had number 25 SMU upsetting number 11 Cincinnati 60-51.
There goes your chances of fucking being taken seriously, Cincinnati. I fucking hate to tell you.
And then you had unranked Virginia Tech shocking number 12 Virginia 80-78.
Oh, man. Oh, will you say that again, please?
Unranked Virginia Tech shocking number 12 Virginia 80-78.
I'm playing this one for me because I'm pretty sure I said Virginia was going to roll them. So that one's for old fucking badass here because I couldn't have been more wrong about that one.
Then on Monday, the games just kept getting better. You had number 3 Kansas edging out number 9 West Virginia 84-80 in overtime.
I think that might actually be the game of the week right there. Even maybe a split tie between Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, West Virginia. I really don't know which one was better.
I know, it's hard to call because, I mean, North Carolina did get the 8-point victory, but it took them to the end of the game to get that. That was all free throws at the end is what that was. Where the Kansas game, that was overtime. I mean, I got to say, honestly, Kansas, West Virginia has to be the game of the week. I mean...
And not only that, people, those are 4 teams right there that could very well make it to the Final Four. Yep. Much as I hate saying it, Duke has a way of making it even when you don't think they're going to, but keep your eyes on all those teams. These are not pushovers. These are tournament-bound teams.
And another shocker, we had number 8 Louisville squeaking by unranked Syracuse 76-72 in overtime. And that really doesn't surprise me because, again, I told you, Syracuse plays really good at home. I've watched them for years in the Big East, playing against Georgetown numerous times in the championship game. and those boys battle their ass off up there, and they're struggling this year because they're still trying to accommodate getting into the ACC, so they're still struggling a little bit and trying to get their footing. But I'm telling you, once Syracuse gets their footing and they start pushing up that ranking, you better watch out because Syracuse is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, and the ACC is most certainly glad to have them. That just makes our brand stronger.
Oh, definitely. So then you also had unranked Texas Tech shocking number 4 Baylor 84-78.
Damn, Baylor, you're on the downslide.
I mean, how can you lose to an unranked Texas Tech?
I mean, that's pretty much your neighbor, too. I mean, that's in-state rival.
And what's really crazy is that you think Saturday Kansas only lost to that same team 80-79, and they turned around and shocked Baylor and defeated them 84-78, all within 1 week. I mean, they might be one of those teams that you better watch out. They're a bubble team.
You think Baylor's falling apart?
I think Baylor is a good team, but they'll make a run, but I don't think they're going to make a deep run. They'll make a 16 run, maybe Elite 8. That's pushing it, but I'm saying more of a 16. But I don't see them really going past that. I think once they hit the meat of the teams that are left in there, I think they're going to struggle. When they have to play a team like a North Carolina, or they got to play a team like Gonzaga, or they got to play a team like UCLA, or they play a team like Kansas or Villanova. I mean, we haven't really talked about Villanova that much
They're
this year.
just like quiet.
They're just
storming.
quiet sitting there at number 2, just sitting there like, go ahead, Gonzaga.
We're returning champs. That's no big deal.
Go ahead, Gonzaga. Fuck up one time, because guess what? You fuck up one time, we're going to jump you. And I don't know. Like, I mean, could you really jump Gonzaga or Villanova? Villanova's got 2 losses. Gonzaga's got 0. They lose 1. Do you really drop them out of that top spot?
I mean, that's a good debate. I would say no. But I will say this. Going back to the original point with Baylor, I think Baylor could be summed up in really a sentence. They stomped on the gas pedal way too fast. I think the tank's going dry a little bit on them.
Then on Tuesday, it was called Blowout Tuesday. We had number 13 Kentucky blowing out Tennessee 83-58.
Oh no! We suck again!
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you fucking do.
And that's sad because Tennessee, I remember back in the day, Tennessee used to be a good team. They used to make the tournament almost every year. I mean, they were top tier in the SEC. Now they've kind of shrugged off and took a step back, 2 steps back, let's be real. They've taken 2 steps back.
1 step forward and 2 steps back.
Exactly. They're going backwards right now, and they're losing their footing. And it's a shame because Tennessee used to be a really good team, but they're not that great anymore.
That's true. They've fallen from grace.
You had number 16 Purdue destroying Rutgers 74-55.
As to be expected.
And then you had number 25 Notre Dame defeating Boston College 84-76.
Again, as to be expected.
Now, tonight's games, we had a lot of games going on tonight. Some of the finals, we have number 23 Maryland defeating Northwestern 74-64. We have Duke defeating Virginia 65-55. We have North Carolina defeating NC State 97-73. And we had number 18 Cincinnati defeating USF 68-54.
Didn't we just go 4-0 tonight?
2-0 tonight.
2-0 on those games?
2-0 tonight because we took Duke and we also took Maryland tonight, and both of them won. So we were 2-0 tonight.
Okay, nice. What about the other game? Because there was 4 games total, correct?
No, just 2 games tonight.
Oh, okay. We didn't choose the other 2. They weren't on the list.
No, they weren't on the list.
Okay.
I was just kind of going over some of the games that happened.
Okay.
I am going to go over our picks here in a second and talk about how we did. But I just kind of want to finish off because I know we do our show on Wednesday night, and sometimes we don't always get a chance to talk about the games happening that night. Oh, I didn't just notice this. I'm sorry. I want to add 2 more onto that list. 2 upsets. Unranked Seton Hall defeating number 20 Creighton 87-81.
Ooh.
And I listened to this game on the way home, and I couldn't believe it. Unranked Arkansas defeating number 21 South Carolina 83-76 in South Carolina.
Damn, man. See, that's not good. South Carolina, again, another one of those teams that stomped on the gas way too early, and I fear that they're going to run out of gas right before the tourney gets here. And god damn, because I was actually thinking South Carolina could make some noise, because Clemson sure as shit ain't.
Remember a couple weeks ago I said to you, I think South Carolina's going to be one of those sleeper teams that they're going to sneak in and be like a 9-10 seed, even a 7 seed, and they're somehow going to win some games
They're gonna bust
and surprise
some
you.
heads. I'll tell you what, they're going to make the tournament, as opposed to like not even going to make NIT Clemson. So I'm going to have to give South Carolina their credit, and hopefully they'll make a better run in the tournament, because I'd rather see them win than Kentucky if I had to choose an SEC team to win. I don't want to see the same old people keep winning. I like new shit. I like shakeups.
So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and jump into our picks for the week that we had last week, how we did. We ended up finishing 9-6. That's now 3 weeks in a row we finished 9-6, and that's a 60% picking rate. And again, guys, I want to reiterate, we're just two guys from South Carolina.
We're not Vegas guys.
No, we're just two guys from South Carolina.
Making our picks.
Doing what we love.
That's it. No bullshit. No bunk. No call me tomorrow and say, hey, none of that. No bullshit. It's all real. It's right here. It's in your face. None of this. But wait, there's more. None of that. Just two dudes. No credit cards. No casinos. We wish we were hanging out with Pharrell and Mafia at the D, but we're not. We wish we were at the Bellagio at the high roller table, but we're not. We're just working class guys, man. And we're doing pretty good for just two working class cats making some picks.
I mean, 60% 3 weeks in a row. I mean, that's pretty freaking amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're now at like 56 or 57%. I didn't do before I did the tonight's game, we were at 55%. But we went 2-0 tonight, so that's definitely going to push us up overall. So I think we're probably now going to be like 56, 57%. And I mean, that's pretty great, guys, because, again, we're more college football guys than college basketball. I mean, I'm more college basketball than Badass is, because I love all sports except for golf and tennis and NASCAR. But we won't even get into that one because I'll go on a 45-minute rant about NASCAR. I'm going to go real fast, and I'm going to turn left, and then I'm going to turn left again, and then I'm going to pull in the pits and drink a beer and throw in a chaw, and then I'm going to go out and turn left again. Yeah, fuck you, NASCAR. I don't watch the bullshit of cars going around and around in circles.
Again, another fucking great sport ruined by money.
It is. It's very true.
Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Dale Earnhardt. Fuck that. They're not happy with how shit's going. I guarantee you Dale's not. Dale's fucking rolling in his grave.
So let's go ahead and go real quick through our picks for this past week. In our first pick, we had number 8 North Carolina versus Duke. We took North Carolina, and of course, Duke won that game. We talked about that a little bit earlier. We had number 5 Oregon at number 10 UCLA. We took UCLA, and of course, UCLA won. And then we had number 16 Purdue at Indiana, and we thought Indiana was going to upset, and they almost did. But Purdue held out and got the 69-64 victory. So we ended up being 1-2 on Thursday. Now on Saturday, we did a little bit better. We had number 2 Villanova at number 24 Xavier. We took Villanova, and Nova won handily, 73-57.
Yeah, they whooped that ass.
They whooped that ass, and they whooped that ass bad.
Yeah, they did.
Then you had number 1 Gonzaga at St. Mary's, number 20. And we took Gonzaga, and of course, like I said, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Gonzaga won that game 74-64. We had Kansas State at number 13 West Virginia. We took West Virginia, and they won 85-66. And then we had Florida State at Notre Dame. We talked about this game earlier too, one of the upsets. And Notre Dame did upset them 84-72. And I can't remember Badass, but I think I might have called that one.
Actually, we both did.
I think we both might have called, but we was like,
we wanted
to take.
Florida State is really talented, and they're actually tournament bound. and could win the whole thing. But we were also talking about how Notre Dame has just been playing everyone so damn tough, and they've been upsetting a lot of teams this year. And by God, they did it again.
I mean, can you imagine if we ended up taking Notre Dame in that game? We've been 4-0 on Saturday.
I know, that's the thing. Like, we were both talking about how we were really going to end up regretting that pick just because it felt like Notre Dame was going to get another, because they've just been doing it all year. They've been upsetting people.
So Saturday we finished 3-1, which is awesome. Could have been 4-0, but I'll take 3-1 any day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Then you go from the cool side of the pillow to the shitty warm side of the pillow. Sunday we were 0-2.
Ooh.
Yeah, we didn't do good on Sunday. Sunday we had a shit day.
Took a fat shit.
Yeah, we took number 11 Cincinnati at number 25 SMU. We took Cincinnati. Of course, SMU won that game 60-51. And then what we thought was going to be an easy pick, Northwestern at number 7 Wisconsin. And again, we talked about that game earlier. Northwestern shocked the world and defeated them 66-59.
I know. I got nothing for those two picks because honestly, if those two teams played each other 10 times, it'd end up that same way maybe twice. I don't really know what else to say because I guarantee you line them two teams up again, play them 10 times, it does not go that way in the majority. It doesn't. I know it doesn't.
So then we had 2 games on Monday night, and we actually split. We had number 4 Louisville at Syracuse. We took Syracuse in the upset, and that actually almost happened as Louisville won that game 76-72 in overtime.
Right.
So we came really close to winning that game. And what's even more disgusting, number 3 West Virginia at number 3 Kansas. We took Kansas, and we won that game 84-80, but it was overtime too. And West Virginia almost won that game. I mean, we easily could have been 2-0, but then again, we could easily have been 0-2.
It was one of those nights where the teams were truly both on the same level, and it was going to take OT to decide.
And you know, at this point, I'll take 1-1. Especially because they could have went 0-2 and they could have went 2-0. I'll take the split of 1-1 any day.
Hey, having one is better than none.
So then on Tuesday, we did really, really great. We had 2 games and we won both of them. We had Tennessee at number 15 with number 15 Kentucky, and Kentucky won handily 83-58. And then we had number 17 Florida at Auburn, and Florida absolutely demolished Auburn. They scored 114 points.
Damn.
As they won 114-95. That's what I'm talking about. That's high offense.
That's
right there.
no defense whatsoever. That's
That's
great.
over 200 points scored by 2 teams.
And not to mention the fact one of those teams sucks out loud horribly.
In case you don't know, we're talking about you, Auburn.
Yeah, that's right. We're definitely not talking about Florida.
So we ended up 2-0 on Tuesday. And then, of course, tonight, as we just talked about, we finished 2-0 tonight as number 18 Duke was at number 12 Virginia. And, of course, as we said earlier, Duke won that game 75-65. And number 21 Maryland was at Northwestern. Just had that big upset. And they got blown out 74-64.
I like the fact that we're calling it a 60% rate here recently. That means we can only get a little bit better.
I mean, there's only one way to go up. Straight to the top.
Up the mountain. That's right.
I mean, I want to be picking it like 60-70% all the time.
So, hey, man, just look at them and say, where they at? All the way up.
We're still doing that?
All the way up.
All right. I guess we're still doing that.
That's right. We are still doing that.
So, also on Tuesday, we had the new rankings come out, and there was no change in the top 3 as Gonzaga, Villanova, and Kansas were still the top 3 with Baylor and Arizona rounding out the top 5. So we had Gonzaga at number 1 at 26-0, Villanova at 2 at 24-2, Kansas at 3 at 22-3. Baylor moved up 2 spots to 4 at 22-3, and Arizona jumped 4 spots and they are 23-3. So I mean, that's a pretty good top 5 right there.
That's not bad at all.
And I still think Baylor is kind of.
Baylor's going down, dude. I'm telling you, they done run out of gas. There's certain teams, they start out really hot, and it's because they hit that gas pedal, but they forget. You can't nail the accelerator all the time because eventually the tank's going to go low. Unless you put more fuel in it. Tank's gonna go low.
At number 6, we have the team that I've been talking about for the last couple weeks. That I told you better watch out because they're gonna hang up there in that top 10, and they're gonna come out and dominate in the tournament. And that's UCLA at 23-3, and they moved up 4 spots. We had Oregon at 7 at 22-4, Louisville at 8 at 20-5, West Virginia at 9 at 20-5, North Carolina at 10 at 21-5. Wisconsin was 11 at 21-4. Duke moved up 6 spots to number 12 at 20-5 because they got their 2 wins this week. Kentucky at 13 at 20-5. Virginia at 18-6 at number 14. Florida at 15 at 20-5. Purdue at 16 at 25. Florida State at 21-5. Number 18 Cincinnati at 22-3. 19 SMU at 22-4. And round up top 20 at Creighton at 21-4. I mean, again, usual suspects up there.
Yeah, for the most part, pretty much.
So, what I want to do now is we're going to head and we're going to finish out the show. And we're going to do our pick for the week like we do every week. And I got a really good amount of games this week that are going to be interesting in trying to pick. We have our first game on Thursday. We have Utah at number 7, Oregon.
Oregon.
I mean, Utah's going to give them a fight. Don't get me wrong. Utah's not a bad team. But I think Oregon playing at home, I think they're going to have not a lot of issues, but they're not going to win like a blowout fashion like everybody thinks they are. I think this game's going to be probably within 10 points.
Yeah, Oregon's a better team. Now, they should be able to handily beat Utah.
And then our other game on Thursday, we have number 11 Wisconsin at Michigan.
I'm not taking Wisconsin. They fucked me the last time I took them.
So you're going for the upset with Michigan?
Yeah, because fuck Wisconsin. I mean, y'all assholes. That was a no-brainer. You shouldn't have had no right losing to Northwestern. I mean, seriously? Fuck that. Michigan's probably going to roll y'all up now.
And you know what's sad is Michigan's another one of those teams that was really, really good back in the day. I mean, Fab Five. I mean, they did a 30 for 30 on those guys. So I hope you're right about the Michigan game, but, you know, I think Wisconsin might actually squeak this one out on them.
Yeah, they might, but I have no faith in them to do it.
So Saturday, what I would say is probably the Bergen Badass game of the week. We have number 3 Kansas at number 4 Baylor.
Ooh, good game.
Real good game. And we just talked about Baylor. I have no faith in Baylor.
Baylor's out of gas. I mean, and if they can beat Kansas, that will give them the life. They need that breath of air back into the program, but I just don't see it happening. I think, like I said, you hit the gas pedal too hard, too quick. And Kansas is one of those teams where they don't have to hit the gas pedal until the tournament, and they know it.
So you think number 3 Kansas is a good lock for this week?
Yeah, I just don't see Baylor beating them. I don't even care if they're playing at Baylor. That Allen Fieldhouse not needed.
Another good game on Saturday. We have number 14 Virginia at number 10 North Carolina. You know, Virginia just lost tonight. I'm thinking they're end up losing 2 in a row.
I think North Carolina sweeps them up too. I think Duke and North Carolina both get their win over them.
And Virginia's going to drop big time in the standings.
Think about it. They're getting upset by Virginia Tech. They're losing to good squads. Maybe Virginia's one of them teams where the wheels are starting to fall off the bus because people have figured out how to beat them.
And then one of our other games on Saturday, we have USC at number 6 UCLA. We're just talking about them. This is my team that I think they're just sitting there quietly like Villanova. Nobody's really talking about them too much. I mean, they're talking about a little bit, but not a lot. Like you're talking about Gonzaga right now. But I have a feeling UCLA is going to have no problems, no issues with USC right here.
They shouldn't, but watch an upset happen. I mean, I'm going to take UCLA. There's no way I'm picking against them, but watch USC win this game in an upset. It's going to piss me off when it happens, too.
We'll go ahead and take UCLA, but what I'm going to do is put a little star by that and look badass. You can see me, I'm putting a star by it.
That's a rival game. I mean, USC has no business winning that game, but watch them win it anyway.
And then our last game on Saturday, we have number 25 Notre Dame at NC State, which could be interesting because NC State, whether football or basketball, they're a trap team.
Yeah, but Notre Dame's playing too well. They're beating the higher quality opponents. I gotta go with Notre Dame.
And I agree with you. I'm not a Notre Dame fan in baseball or basketball, but in the same sense, I do watch them a little bit, and they are a really good team. But don't be a bit surprised if NC State done upset them. I mean, I don't know what it is, but Notre Dame, they seem like they play really good against good teams, and then they shit the bed on bad teams.
Agreed.
That's why they fell out top 25 the last time.
Right, they're beating up good quality people, and then they're losing to why the hell are you losing to them?
And then at this point, they have to drop them out of the top 25 when they're losing to teams that are not ranked.
Not even close to it.
Yeah, exactly. They're shit teams, and you're getting beat by shit teams.
Correct.
But we'll go ahead and take Notre Dame in this game. We got one game on Sunday, and it's a really good one. We have number 23 Maryland at number 11 Wisconsin. I know you said earlier you have no faith in Wisconsin, but do you think they play Maryland tough at home?
I think they get their ass kicked by Maryland at home. I got no faith in them. I don't care what their rank is. You just lost to Northwestern. That proves to me that anyone can waltz into your shit and beat you. I'm sorry. Northwestern sucks.
So we'll go ahead and we'll take Maryland.
I like the Terrapins, man. They're a historically good team. Like every year, they're going to be playing for it. So I don't know. I will take the Turtles.
They're another team that's like sitting there in the weeds waiting for the tournament to happen.
Correct, because they're going to make it, and when they sneak in there, they usually do rather well.
So then on Monday, we have Miami playing at number 14 Virginia. And this game, I think, is going to be very interesting because Miami's been playing some really tough games. We've been talking about it tonight a little bit. And I think Miami's going to play Virginia tough. Virginia has struggled this week. They did get upset, earlier. They're going to end up possibly losing again to North Carolina on Thursday. Is there any possibility of Virginia losing 3 in a row and getting beat by Miami?
No, the slide's going to stop with them. That's where Virginia will win.
So we'll go ahead and take Virginia on that one. But I think that's going to be a good game, too. I think Miami's going to play them tough like they do everybody.
Oh, yeah, no. Virginia's not going to just roll through them. They're actually going to have to give them a game. But they will win. But, yeah, that's going to be a game. And
then our other game on Monday is another ACC battle. We have Boston College at number 17 Florida State, who had a bit of struggle lately.
I'm taking Florida State. Boston College don't got nothing for Florida State. Especially not going all the way into the road, going to Tallahassee. Nah.
Now on Tuesday, we have a big SEC game. We have number 21 South Carolina at number 15 Florida. I'm telling you right now, I have talked really good about South Carolina this year, but after listening to that game tonight, I don't know how much faith I have in South Carolina now. They kind of make me scratch my head now when I have to pick them. And I don't know. I mean, they're playing at Florida. And Florida plays always good down there. And to me, I just see Florida having no issues with South Carolina. I think South Carolina's going to start going on a little bit of a slide now. And they're going to follow the top 25. And they could probably make it as like an at-large bid. But in the same sense, I don't see them going down to Florida and winning this game. What do you think, Badass?
I want to say South Carolina is going to turn it around and win at Florida. And I know not a lot of people are going to take them to do it. But I think they do.
So you're thinking South Carolina.
I think South Carolina is going to spend a good bit of gas to beat Florida because they don't have a choice. Because if they lose to Florida, that's going to be 2 SEC losses in a row. And it's going to pretty much knock them from any kind of getting a decent rank in the SEC tournament. And honestly, I think South Carolina is good enough to win the SEC tournament. I mean, they're going to have to get over the traditional hump of Kentucky to do it, but they could do it. But it's one of those games where I just saw Florida annihilate Auburn. But then again, Auburn also put 95 points on Florida, and Auburn sucks. Auburn's not South Carolina.
But then you have a team like Arkansas that comes in and beats South Carolina and shocks them.
I know.
Mean, how can after that game? I mean, their heads are probably hanging low. They're questioning themselves. Now they have to go into a big game on Tuesday against a high-ranked team in Florida
In a hostile environment.
playing in a hostile environment. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing, though. That's where these championship games are made. And I think South Carolina, their whole body of work is better than Florida's this year.
we're going to take South Carolina.
As much as it pains me to take them, yeah, I'll take the Shamecocks.
All right. I
Oh,
mean,
well.
I still want to pick Florida in this game, but you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and circle South Carolina on this badass. What I'm also gonna do is I'm putting parentheses, and you're watching this. Burger wanted Florida, and we'll see how that turns out. We'll talk a little bit about that next week.
You want to start keeping tab, you better be careful.
No,
boy.
I'm not gonna do tit for tat. We're doing it. We're doing it as a whole, as one person. So we're gonna do that. But I just want to like pretty much let everybody know that yes, I did want Florida to win this game, but badass thinks South Carolina's gonna win this game. We'll see how it happens. In our other game on Tuesday, we have number 16 Purdue at Penn State. And I don't see Purdue having any issues with Penn State at all.
No, Purdue will wipe the floor with them. Penn State has zero basketball program. They put everything into their football.
And then we have 3 games on Wednesday night, and they're all really, really, really good games. We have number 12 Duke at Syracuse. And I'm telling you, badass, I don't know what it is, but I'm really, really liking Syracuse for the upset. I know I said it last week, and they almost did it. But they didn't. Do you have faith in Syracuse upsetting Duke? And now we just talked about Duke earlier about they're not as good as what they used to be.
I have faith in Jim Boeheim to outcoach Coach K. I don't have faith in Jim Boeheim's players to beat Coach K's players this year.
Even though they're playing in Syracuse.
I think that's what keeps the game close, but in the end, as much as I hate saying it, I think that Duke should be able to get by Syracuse, but if Syracuse lays the wood to Duke, I'm also not going to be surprised at that, just because Syracuse does have Jim Boeheim. As much of a dumbass as he is when he speaks at times, he is a football genius. He is a basketball genius.
And then we have a Big East battle as number 24 Butler is at number 2 Villanova. Again, Villanova is one of those teams that are just sitting there at number 2, just waiting for Gonzaga to mess up. Do you see Villanova having any issues with Butler playing in Villanova?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Win by more than 10 points?
I'm going to go under 10. I'm going to go 9 points. But not 8 or 9 points.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take Villanova. And then in our last game, another big game, we have number 8 Louisville at North Carolina. Number 10 North Carolina.
Now that's going to be an interesting game.
I mean, you have North Carolina, who we're thinking is going to upset number 14 Virginia this week. And then they're going to go into Wednesday where they play against number 8 Louisville at home.
Well, see, I mean, they're not going to upset Virginia. They're better than Virginia, and they're ranked higher. They're going to crush Virginia. But Louisville, they are going to upset Louisville.
You think so?
Only because they are at Chapel Hill.
And that's the only reason why you would take them. Like, if they're playing this game in Louisville, you'd probably take Louisville.
Absolutely. Like, the Dean Dome matters here. Agreed.
So we'll go ahead and take North Carolina. And that is going to be it for our picks this week. They are locked in now. And guess what, badass?
What's that?
That's it. We're done. Show 21 in the books. We're done.
So 21 and done.
21 and done. So, guys, temporarily, you can check us out at www.burgerandbadass at facebook.com or www.theburgerandbadassshow@youtube.com. Of course, you go there now. You're going to see our pages, but there's going to be no content for our shows right now. We're working on it, guys. I promise you.
We're buying a website this weekend. I'm done with the bullshit.
Big things are going to happen, and I'm done bullshitting with.
That's right. We're ready to get this sumbitch off the ground and into the sky. Like, we're on the ground. We want to be in the clouds.
Exactly.
We want to be in them clouds.
So we'll be back again next week, Wednesday night again, like we always do. Usually about 9:30 we kick it off. Go for about 2 hours, do our thing. I said we'll have basketball talk again next week. We'll talk about top stories. Of course, there's always top stories going on because, again, athletes are assholes.
We're a week closer to the madness too, boy.
A week closer. We're getting closer. We're only about, what, a week and a half out?
Yeah, man. We're getting. Hey, Selection Sunday is going to be coming soon, and they're going to bracket up, and then everybody's going to be losing their fucking minds. Productivity at work is going to be way down.
Oh, I believe this. When I'm at work, I'm watching the madness.
They'd actually come out with a study, and this is pretty cool sports studies. Did you know that during the Super Bowl, crime goes down by about 78%? And did you know that during March Madness, especially the first weekend, productivity at work goes down by about 65%?
Wow.
That just goes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this country's lazy and loves sports. That's pretty much what that comes down to.
But is there anything wrong with that, badass?
Yes, because you're at work. You should be being productive.
I understand that, but it's March Madness.
Doesn't matter.
Say I gotta disagree with you on that one. I'm a March Madness fan. Always have been. I remember so many times being at that certain place that I used to work with. It was a pizza joint, well-known pizza joint in Delaware, and going out and watching the games out on the big screens.
All I'm saying is this. Do you like March Madness more or getting paid more?
Can I do both?
No.
Can I have my cake and eat it too?
Actually, it depends. There are jobs where you can. And actually, that's a cool job. That is pretty cool about the jobs in which we have, is because I know that if you wanted to actually watch a game while you were there, you could. And see, we don't do TVs where I work, but we got the radio, and we're allowed to blast that shit as loud as we want.
What's really great is that we have an antenna set up at our store, so we get all the local channels, so I'll be able to watch all the games.
Now, that's pretty cool.
I'm loving that.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, fuck you, McDonald's. We just stole your jingle.
So that's going to be it for our show this week. And for Burger, Badass, we'll see you guys again next week to do the same things what we do every Wednesday night. Talk about sports and do what we love. Badass, do you have anything to add on before we close this shit out?
Go to sleep, you assholes.
All right, that's it, fellas.
I look at you all, see the lover that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps.